Shalom, shalom. Shalom. We got the Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, America, which is ruled by Esau Edom, who is the so-called white man according to the scriptures. We come out here to prophesy the second coming of our Lord, Yahweh Shai, whom this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who is going to bring a salvation to the elect, or 1/3 of the nation of Israel, who are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Before we get started, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wachakwadash. We want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS, and a salutation unto the elect. Hey, you got 144 on that license plate over there. But what's on my spirit right now? As I was on the way out here, I was listening to the elder Yashawamba's video, and what really stood out to me was just drawing a balance, and keeping in mind that we have all these evils and these different things coming down the pipe. Hey, America is hanging on by the hinges right now. There's all type of wicked things coming. Esau's coming with the MOTV, with martial law. With all these different things, soon we are going to be targeted. But when you read 2 Ezra 16, and you read from verse 71 to 73, it speaks on how Esau is going to come with an insurrection against those that fear the Lord. But then when it speaks about how Esau is going to come like a madman, what it says is, then shall be known who are my chosen. Why? Because at the end of all these evils, at the end of all these perils, there is a victory that comes with it. And as we see all these prophecies coming to pass, as we see the end of the world happening around us, joy fills us, or it should. It should fill us with faith. It should fill us with joy. It is fearful. It's uncertain times that we're coming into. And even more so as we get further into them. But at the end of the day, we understand that all these prophecies that's coming to pass have to come for our salvation to come.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 16, and verse 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh."
Right, so we're seeing this being set up as we speak. With everything that Trump is doing to circumvent the Constitution, with him sending the ICE agents into Jake neighborhoods, sending them after the southern, the northern kingdom. We see Trump looking to federalize these National Guard agents and activate them, within the Insurrection Act. We just read about insurrection there, and we know that is going to come to pass. That the Insurrection Act will be passed, or something along those lines, that martial law can be brought about. Because what Esau wants to do is that he does want to come after the nation of Israel. That's what that scripture is speaking about as a whole, when it said that there should be an insurrection against those that fear the Lord. That's speaking about the nation of Israel. Because as the scriptures say, roughly paraphrase, how's that scripture go when it says, thy name has been found in no other nation but Israel. I believe it's like 2 Ezra 3 and 33 or something like that. Yeah, we can grab it real fast. Just to show that scripture, when it says that there's going to be an insurrection against those that fear the Lord, it's as a whole, it is speaking about our whole nation, because Esau is going to target us. That's why you have Jeremiah 30 and 7, which speaks about Jacob's trouble. But we can grab that precept real fast. Uh, 3 and 34, yep. 2 Ezra 3 and 34.
This is the book of 2 Ezra 3, verse 34. It says, "Weigh thou therefore our wickedness in the balance." It's like, "Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there is also that dwell in the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel."
Right, the Most High dealt with us. The Most High gave the laws to our nation, and even though we went off over a process of time, when you look at His foundation, we are the people who had a relationship and a fear and a reverence with the Most High Yahweh. So when it speaks about an insurrection against those that fear the Lord, ultimately that's speaking about Jacob's trouble in its essence. Now, when we get more specific, you have those of us of the hopeful elect who are coming out here, who push this word, who hold the testimony of Yahweh Shai, who are standing 10 toes down for this truth. And at the end of the day, all these different things, this insurrection act, this order that Esau is trying to bring out of this chaos, silencing Antifa, those who speak against the Trump administration, all these different things going on, ultimately is to stop this truth and to stop us, and we can go back to that precept.
It says, or when was it, verse 35, or when
no,
what?
No, Salakia, the second of 16, my bad, yeah.
It's back in the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and in verse 71, it says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none.
Yeah, they should be like madmen, sparing none. And what's an example of that we've seen recently? When they was in Chicago, they came down out that helicopter, raided that building, took hundreds of, the residents that was in the building out, men, women, and children in the middle of the night, zip tying children, having no mercy. And that's ultimately what Trump wants to enact. He wants to enact policy and law under the Insurrection Act to where, he can move with that type of power. He can truly move within that rat of being the cruel Lord by pushing the National Guard, these military troops, to grab up whoever he wants, whenever he wants them to, for whatever purpose he wants them to do it. No due process, no questions asked. Nah, you can just roll down on whoever you want to. And we're seeing an example of that.
And the Apostle Ricard, he had made a beautiful statement concerning that. Like when you seeing these ICE agents and the different insurrections in these different cities where Trump is establishing the National Guard, the Apostle Ricard made a beautiful statement. And it made me go and look back at some of the videos and watch what's going on. It's like you don't really see. It's not a lot of Jake out there. There's a lot of Edomites out there. There's which is ultimately a psyop. It's ultimately a ploy, like the brother was talking about.
Yeah, we about to get into that. Because at the end of the day, there's something bigger than this narrative that they're pushing here in the U.S. to where it's the right wing versus the left wing, and Trump is having beef with all these Democrats. That's an aspect that's happening, but that's not the conclusion of it all. We're about to get into it though. We can read on to that.
It says back in 2nd Ezra 16 and verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Mm-hmm. For they shall waste and take away their goods, and cast them out of their houses.
Yeah, and ultimately martial law will be in full effect, and it's gonna be a thing to where they're gonna have, as they been saying in the news, plenary power, or unabated power as a dictator or an authoritarian to do whatever you want. Now as we were saying, we have to keep in mind that all these different leaders of these different countries, they're not truly who's in power. They are underneath, the people who are above them, the elites, these small hats, the elite banking families of Esau, and they have their goal of the New World Order. Now, to bring their New World Order, to bring order, we often say the phrase order out of chaos. They have to bring these different situations, these different, reasons to bring their different aspects of their New World Order. What are they doing here in the U.S.? They're doing all types of strife and pitting everybody against each other. They're doing all types of things to where there's an immigration crisis. There's that they created. There's an immigration crisis that they created. There's all type of people fighting against each other. The citizens are so-called fighting against the government. When, as the brother said, it's a psyop. Because if you see at these different protests and these riots, it be Edomites out there that's really stirring it up. Or at these different protests and riots, you see the ICE agents that are being more aggravated and hostile than the actual protesters are. And if you if you come at somebody and you're attacking them and you're coming with full force and they defend themselves, you can now point the finger and be like, oh look, he's hitting me back. So now you're saying, hey, these people are being too violent. We need to stop them.
This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices.
Exactly, we're not ignorant of his devices. We see the plays that are being set. Esau is being very blatant with what he's doing. The thing is that we can't stop him. He's going to do what he's supposed to do, and it's all according to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's will. But we see all the different things that he's doing, and ultimately it's to do what? It's to bring his enterprise about. Because we see overseas in the UK, they're bringing about their digital ID. They're saying that you can't work unless you have that digital ID. And what were the different reasons that they were saying? One of the reasons that they said there's an immigration crisis. So we need to bring a digital ID. We need to bring something that allows us to identify people easier. And so we see the same play being set up here in the U.S. Look at China. They have a digital ID system. They have a social credit score system. The same system they're going to bring to America. What are they doing in China that causes them to use that system? It's to stop dissent from the people to the government. It's to make sure that you're following in a way that the government wants you to walk in. So all these different things that they're doing here, it's to do what? It's to give reason to bring some sort of digital ID system. It's to say, we got all these immigrants, we got all these different people who could be, domestic terrorists. We don't know what people are on what type of time. So to bring some sort of order and sense and transparency, we need to bring this digital ID system. You got something?
I'm back in the 2nd Ezra 16.
Okay, let me see. I was gonna go into that verse 73, but I'm kind of we can grab it. Yeah, we can grab it. The Spirit had that come out at the beginning. So.
This is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 73. Mm-hmm. They shall be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Right, because as Esau is bringing this new world order, and as things clamp down, further and further within Esau's system, the elect are going to continue to hold fast to the testimony of Yahweh Shai. And holding fast to this testimony is denying Esau's system. Because there's going to come a time we're already being labeled as terrorists and villains and enemies of the state because of what? Because of the words that we preach. As a matter of fact, let's grab that. Make a man an offender for a word. But it's going to come a point to where not only are they going to use that narrative, if you say certain things, that you're an enemy, you're a domestic terrorist, but it's going to be because you don't want to fit into the system, you're an enemy. Because you are going against the solution that we have come up with that has brought all this order, that has solved all these problems, and you want to stay outside of it, then something's wrong with you. That's ultimately what's coming down the pipeline.
It's Isaiah 29, verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for his word.
That make a man an offender for a word. How are we seeing that being brought about? Well, look at what Trump has been saying with this narrative that Antifa are domestic terrorists. We have to keep in mind that Antifa is not an organization. Antifa is not a terrorist group like ISIS is, or like some type of other. No, Antifa is an ideology. Antifa is quote unquote left-wing policies. Antifa is anti-Trumpism. Right. It's when you break down the words, anti-fascism. So when Trump comes and he's going against the Constitution and he's doing all these different things, and somebody comes against him and says that the things that he's doing are wrong, then what? Now they're a domestic terrorist. You can't speak out against him.
No freedom of speech.
No freedom of speech. He said that he wants to get rid of freedom of speech. Now, again, this whole Antifa thing, he's using this narrative that it's because of the left-wing people. They're going against our policies. They're the issue. But ultimately, it's about us. Because as the brother from Dallas, I can't think of the brother's name right now, the elder brother, but he made a video to keep in mind what that woman said that Small had. What she said is that one of their biggest issues in the world are the young black men in America. Who is she speaking about? She's speaking about the prophets. And how are we a problem when you got people who's actually doing violent crimes? Israel is at war that they're trying to stop. You got all these issues going on, but we're one of the biggest problems. And it's because of this word that we teach. The scriptures say the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but strong to the pulling down of strongholds. And that's exactly what this word is doing. You know, we can grab that real fast.
Strongholds.
That's exactly what this word is doing. They want to stop this truth from coming out. That's all because the different things that we teach, we can be looped up in Antifa. We can be looped up in domestic terrorist ideals. Why? Because we preach that America is going to fall. We preach that Esau is going to fall out of power. We preach that Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So for our kingdom to rise, we preach that this kingdom needs to fall. We can be looped up as terrorists or enemies for that.
2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds.
Mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Why? Because we're pushing, the Most High's word. We are His mouthpiece.
It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High.
And that's what Esau Edom is doing in this time. That's what his New World Order is all about. That's what these elites are. They're setting themselves against the Most High. They want to sit in the seat of the Most High. And because we're pushing this truth and we're calling him out for who he really is, because we're letting them know, no, we are the true people. You ain't the true people. Because we're letting them know that Yahweh Shai is going to come back and disappoint this whole thing that he has set up. They want to stop us. They want to silence us. So when we see these different things, and don't take that for face value with this whole left wing, right wing thing. While they do want to bring strife and a race war and a class war and a political war in the U.S., all these things lead back to the prophets ultimately, because we are who is going to be targeted. You had something though?
I can finish this. It's a little bit more than I did have something.
Okay, come on.
It says, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai. And then I had this in the book of, based off what you were speaking, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And that wicked, it says, now mystery of iniquity that doth already work, is the different democracy that Esau is pushing, the different unrighteous decrees that he's pushing, like the brother mentioned, made a beautiful point when breaching the contract, so-called contract of the Constitution, all right, in different areas, freedom of speech, being even with the furloughed workers, being able to be paid, just different myriad of things, all right, amongst many. It says, until he be taken out of the way, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right, like the brother was saying, the prophets, the prophets are, with all the information that's being revealed unto us, via through Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai. This is why they're pushing every narrative they can to try to get this word to stop going forth. This is why you see videos over years being taken down. You've been seeing certain words you can't speak. Right? There was I can't recall who said it, but you know who the leaders are when you know you can't speak against them. Yeah. And we speaking against the wickedness of this world as the prophets did before us, and they're doing everything in their power to do to stop it, man. But they can't. All right? It's revealing Esau for who he is, and now you have whistleblowers. Now you have your own people of your own stock, so to speak. They're coming forth with information on you. All right, telling you what we're doing, what you're doing behind the closed doors. Aaron Russo was a perfect example of that. All right, so this is the time, the information age. As the Elder Yashawamba would say, this is the information age where so much stuff is coming out, you cannot hide yourself anymore, man.
Yeah. Can we grab that last verse again?
So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
So that wicked is being revealed, and he's being consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth right now through what? Through the prophets. Now the thing is, there will come a time to where we are silenced. There will come a time to where we won't be out here preaching his word no more. We won't have our videos up on the internet no more because Esau is going to take them all down. Once martial law does kick into effect, once we are, attacked and targeted for what we preach physically, then we won't be out here preaching his word no more. That's prophesied. That's a part of the Lord's will that Esau would stop this word from going out. But that's why right now it's pushing on the level that it is, because the warning is going out. We're letting Esau know and heralding the Lord's coming that, okay, you want to put all this together. You're doing everything that you're doing, but the Lord is going to stop you. Simultaneously, we're letting the nation of Israel know. We're letting the nation of Israel know, the warnings of what's coming. That now is the time to hide in the secret place. Now is the time to seek the Lord's mercies. Because with these times we coming into, with all the evils that we preach, with all the perils that we preach, either you're going to be on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's side or you're not. And if you're not, then you're going to be caught up in it when it comes. So the famine of the word, Esau ultimately getting us off these streets, that's the Lord's will. But that's supposed to happen,
1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 19 through 20, it says, quench not the spirit, despise not prophesying.
Despise not prophesying. These prophecies that we speak is the Lord's will. And through these prophecies that we speak, you have a lot of our people who aren't taking heed. But hey, it is what it is. As a matter of fact, can we go to 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and I believe verse 7?
It's the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 7. Yeah.
I know, but we can start.
2nd Ezra 9 verse 7. And every one that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, where I have sanctified them for me from the beginning.
These are those who took heed. This is the elect that the Lord set apart in these times. And we're striving and hoping that we are a part of that number. We should be given diligence to make our calling and election sure. And so what did the elect do that saved them from the said perils that are coming? What did the elect do that found them worthy in the Lord's sight? They took heed. They walked after the Lord. What does it say? It said that they had faith and works. So they listened to this word and they repented. They walked after the fruits of the Spirit. They put on a pilgrim mindset of knowing that this place is going to be destroyed and sought the kingdom to come. And they backed that mindset up by what? Their works. By not walking after the wickedness of this world no more. By living knowing that there's a destruction coming and a kingdom to come, and that the righteous are those who are going to inherit it first. You guys.
Yeah, if I may add, with that's what the brother's saying, I'm taking nothing from that, but just to add on with the 1 Thessalonians 5 and 19 through 20, where it says to quench not the spirit and also despise not prophesying. Right? So it goes hand in hand with what the brother is saying, because right now, according to the book of Revelation, I want to say the 19th chapter, where it says that the spirit of the Lord, the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, right? So the same things that's being spoken, the same thing, and it's the same thing that we see happening. And, and you have even certain of these Christians now, they're coming out getting into words. Now they're so-called paying attention to prophecy, right? They're not speaking prophecy, but they're quoted out, well, this is the rapture, right? Because why? The prophets of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai have been out speaking these words, all right?
And speaking of these Christians, that's why we don't even, we don't concern ourselves with these Christians. We don't concern ourselves with people who want to come up here and argue against us and try to prove us wrong and try to say what we're saying ain't right and going back and forth with them. We're not doing that no more, because that's not what we out here for. We're out here to seal the elect. We're out here to let our people know what's coming. We're out here to feed the sheep, because at the end of the day, these times that we're coming into, it's either You have the oil required to make it through these times, or you don't. It's either through these words, your faith, and you've been built up enough to be what's the word I'm looking for, to flee from these times that we're coming into, to deny Esau's system, or you're gonna be out here. Because let's read that verse 9 in Second Ezra.
Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 9. It says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments."
This is it. The contrast for verses 7 and 8, and then verse 9. It's either you built yourself up, you built up the faith, you gathered the oil you needed, you were on the right side, or you weren't. And then what does it say? You're going to be in pitiful case. So we don't have time to be out here going back and forth with people and trying to prove them right or prove them wrong. The scriptures say, shall their unbelief make the word of the Most High without effect? No, it's going to come to pass regardless.
Yeah, well, even like the brother brought out the weapons of our warfare, not carnal but spiritual, breaking down of strongholds, is the reason why we don't have to go back and forth for Christians, because the word is speaking for itself already. So we don't have to overly convince someone who don't want to be convinced, right? Like I said in Titus, it says after the first or second admonition, reject. So even with the apostles to hard, like he already said, it's a decree. We ain't supposed to, don't even deal with them, because they don't want to understand the prophecies. They choose not to understand the prophecies, and how can we tell? By their dialect, by how they operate in their doctrine, right? They're looking forward to things going, this place going further. They're not bringing out the prophecies as the men of the Lord.
God, so we understand that Esau is doing all the things that he's doing. He's bringing chaos to this country, and what is he going to bring out of the chaos? He wants to bring order, and so, like I mentioned earlier, we look at the UK, and they're bringing their digital system, which is a prerequisite for ultimately the MOTB, and why? What are the reasons that they're given for bringing that digital system? Because we need to be able to identify everybody in the country. We need to know who's doing what. Like I mentioned earlier, the immigration crisis, and when we see these different crises here in America, like the immigration crisis, we look and we see they created this crisis. During the Biden administration, they let all these people in.
I got a quick precept for you, brother. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Mm-hmm. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Exactly. And so we see everything that Esau is doing, and that's the spirit, because that came out earlier. And we're able to link it and know he's doing this because, as the scriptures say, the spy is not prophesying. Occupy thyself in prophecy. Watch. If we're occupied in prophecy, we see the different moves that Esau is doing, and we know what is linking to prophetically. So when Esau lets all these immigrants in, and then he said that there's an immigrant crisis. We see overseas, they're saying because of their immigrant crisis, that's why they need to bring in the digital system. We know that that's coming here to America. We know that Esau did that on purpose, and so that's one of many reasons that Esau is saying that a digital system needs to come. The immigrant crisis, terrorism, the financial system, because as the scriptures say in Revelation chapter 13, that's one of the main aspects of the MOTB. It said that you will not be able to buy or sell lest you have it. So what are we seeing Trump also doing? He brought in the Genius Act, bringing in the stable coin, which ultimately is a CBDC. And why is he bringing that in? Because ultimately they want to crash this current system that we're under. And when they crash it, they already have the infrastructure set up to switch to a digital system. We already using these cards. We already are able to get our phone and pay for that for whatever we want to pay for. It's not going to be hard for Esau to ultimately switch over to this digital system, but there's still things that need to be set up. He's still phasing out cash, slowly but surely. And the reason why he's doing all that is for what? To bring the MOTB, because that is going to fill in all these different aspects of life that Esau is phasing out. Your identification, your medical records, your banking, all these different things. To get a job, you're gonna have to fit into that system.
Yeah, man, the brother was just talking about how they got the Maha, make America healthy again. And it's like you just jumping straight into putting trackers on people. Okay, let's let the trees grow first. You know what I'm saying? Let's take all of them preservatives and additives and chemicals out of the food that we gotta eat. Let's have real fruit. Let's get back to real fruit. Let's stop genetically modifying things. There's so much more you can do than just jump straight into putting a tag on somebody for them to track their vitals and but as the brother's going into, it's just a conditioning process, right? It's a conditioning process, getting you prepared for their final blow, their final move, man. All right, which is to put that technology in you. Okay, they've already got you comfortable with the phones, already got you comfortable. I go to the store and it's like, tap. Well, what the fuck is the purpose of tap if I still gotta touch the shit? I thought tap was to be a little cleaner, but I still gotta put my PIN code in when I tap.
Like, come on, bro.
Unless it's a credit card, but you confirm, yes, like it's damn. Well, you know what I'm saying? So it's just getting you prepared. So when it comes to, you don't even question it. And a lot of that is going to come from them taking resources from you, taking freedom from you. All right? You want to that's what 2020 hit. Everybody was cool, chilling, doing what they was doing. People start getting sick. People start dropping dead. And it's like, this ain't normal. Now everybody's, years later, everybody's somewhat cool, but they understand ain't no going back before 2020. Ain't no going back to that normacy. It's a new norm now. All right? As the brother's going into, bring all the immigrants in. Oh, we got an immigrant crisis. Let's track them. They ain't even citizens. Let's treat them a certain way. And now it's coming down to even the citizens being treated a certain way. See, the devil's not going to sit here and knock on the door and say, hi, I'm the devil, let me come in. No, he's going to, hey, I got this, I'm selling this, mind if I come in, talk with you. This is what we going through, man. Okay? And we in them times, man. All right? We in them times where this is the end, and the end is manifest.
And that's the thing. Our faith is gonna have to be built up, because, like the brother said, it's gonna come a time to where people ain't gonna question it when the time comes. But you will have some that do question it. You will have some that do know that this system ain't right. You got a lot of Edomites that can point out and link this MOTB and say, oh, this is the beast system. You're gonna have people that know, but they're gonna feel like they got no choice. They're gonna be like, man, how am I gonna feed my kids unless I get this? How am I gonna feed myself? What am I gonna do? I gotta take care of myself. I don't got no other option. That's all.
And that, I'm about to say, and that came with what? Just like the bro always speak on, mass production, mass consuming. The fact you can just go to the store, spend $400 on food, and have food just sitting in your fridge, have food sitting in your pantry, sitting in your cabinet, and anytime you think that you're hungry, you just go and eat, consume. Like the brother, you don't gotta eat all like that. There's an OMAD diet. There's certain brothers, many brothers doing intermittent fasting. All right, because that's how it used to be. Remember, you had to go out and catch and kill and then eat. So you wasn't just eating on there wasn't no ice box and all of that. No, you had your fresh food and that's what you ate. All right, but in this society, they're fattening the sheep, man. All right, so when it comes time and there's less of it, you're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna go crazy because it's not the norm. It's not what you used to, man. All right, just right along with the freedom. You got the freedom to do this and the freedom to do whatever you want. And once that freedom gets taken, people start losing their minds. Here it is, it's supposedly a plague going on, right? And it's so crazy, but people wanted to go outside, man, because they wasn't used to being inside.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Just going into how just the conveniency of this whole beast system, how it's coming in. It's always presented as something that's good, something that's going to be valuable, something that's going to help you out. Say, even with Hector, I forget his real name, Noah, I forget his last name, but he was even explaining it the same way that the prophets have been explaining it. How, nobody can just walk up and take your ID or take your money because it's all on this device. Nobody can, pretty much you can't be infiltrated as long as you got this device in you. Well, that's peace and safety, but where does that sudden destruction come from? It comes ultimately from the Lord, man. Yeah. Because now, once you take this once you take this charagma, now you didn't chose your God. Mm-hmm. You didn't switched over to the other side, and the Lord ain't with it. So that's where that sudden destruction comes from. But that peace and that safety and that convenience is the way that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, pushes it. Amongst many things, but specifically with this chip. All right.
So as I was saying, the scriptures say, without faith it is impossible to please the Most High, because this is gonna affect us. Once the MOTB comes and either you want to be fed, you want to go to the store, you want to get things you need, but you have to get it. That's gonna affect us when we deny it, because we're gonna be closed off from the different things. But we have to have faith that the Most High is gonna take care of us. We currently in the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles is commemorating when we were in the wilderness and when we had nothing, when we only had, the Most High guiding us. He gave us everything that we needed. He gave us food when we had no food. He rained it down from heaven. It was a miraculous thing. Even though we was in the wilderness, walking for miles and miles for years and years, our feet never got hurt or blistered. We had our clothes didn't get tattered. The Lord gave us food. He gave us drink. He got us through. So as we go through the wilderness in this time, we have to have faith that the Lord is going to do the same thing. Can we grab to Isaiah 55, where it says, my servant shall eat.
God. This is Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry.
It's like you know.
Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
It says, my servants shall eat, my servants shall drink. And in that day, we don't know exactly how we're going to eat, how we're going to drink. We don't know. But we trust in the Lord. We have hope. Hope that is seen is not hope. We're hoping blindly, but we know that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is going to make a way for us. We know that there's going to be some type of divine intervention, that the scriptures say what? Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So the Lord is a man of his word. He's not a man that he shall lie. Therefore, we know that there's going to be something that's done that allows us to make it through to the end. And so when that time comes and you have those that didn't build up that oil, that faith, and they're going to fall, they're going to fall for the okie doke. But we have to be circumspect. We have to watch and pray as Esau is funneling this system into, everybody going into his MOTB. Because right now we use these debit cards, we use this money, but there's going to come a time to where we got to pull out of it. You're going to have to bow out, because we don't get too involved. Ultimately, it's going to be that mark. Now what is that mark? Let's go to Revelation 13 and verse 16. We can get into the Greek. We want to say exactly what it is.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right. So everybody is going to get this mark. That's everybody globally It doesn't matter if you're free or in prison. It doesn't matter if you're, poor or you got some type of, well-offness to you. Not everybody is going to fall into the system, except for the elite. They might get into, I don't know, but the elite are going to be pushing it on the world, and we can get into what that word mark is.
When you get into that word mark, goes into Strong's G5480, which is charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist.
Which is all because there are many Antichrists according to the scriptures. It's anybody who is against Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Come.
The mark branded upon horses, being carved, sculpture, graven work.
So this is a physical thing. And as you heard there, said they mark branded upon horses. When you brand a horse, you brand an animal, cattle, you brand it to show this belongs to me. The same thing that you do with a slave. You put that tag on that slave, that animal, to show this animal belongs to me. So when you get that mark, that's what you're doing. So that stamp, that MOTB, that RFID chip, when it's embedded in you, you are branding yourself as a part of being Esau's belonging. He owns you now. He has this technology in you. No longer can he just surveil you on the outside. He has your inner workings. He knows what you're thinking. He knows, what your heart rate is. He knows where you want to go, what you want to do. He's already doing that somewhat with his Palantir system and his AI of trying to predictive police people. But once he gets that MOTB in people, that's going to be the mastered version of it, to where he's going to basically have you to himself. And if you want to go against his system, if you get that mark in you, you're like, man, nah, I don't want to adhere to Esau's image. He can turn the mark off. So now you succumb to his will. Now you have to do what he wants you to do if to get your chip turned back on.
This is Exodus 21:5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever.
Right, that all. That's like an earring or a tag that's showing I want to belong to this master. This is who I belong to. This is who I want to work for. I want to stay with him. And so once that time comes with the MOTB, it is those who get it, you're saying, I want to be with this system. This is what I concede to.
That image of the beast, man. The technology been advanced, and you 15-minute cities, and owning nothing and being happy. The whole concept of the NWO that they're bringing about. All right, the Most High is not going to. The Most High is not supposed to exist in that society, man.
Yeah.
Because they'll be the Most High.
Exactly.
They sit in the seat as the Most High. It says in Thessalonians. So they're planning to be your God. They're planning to be your master. All right. You have a problem, you come to them. You sick, you come to them. Or go to their avenues of what they have prepared. It's the same like how they got it today. They don't tell you to go and get the medicines of the earth. They tell you to come to them.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to, right now, you can go and do somebody breaks and get paid under the table, so to speak. You can do certain jobs. Ain't no taxes on remember, he don't leave no grapes. He's turning over every stone, man. All right? This is the he's greedy as can be. So he wants everything under control. He wants every piece that you can own. All right? He wants you, shit. He don't even want you to be free. That's what the whole system is about.
Yeah.
Them controlling you, tracking you, man. Yeah. Based off of what you here it is. You can be such an individual, but now that's not good. You don't need to think for yourself. You don't need to read this book. You don't need to watch this show. You don't need to listen to this type of music. That's complete control, man.
Yeah.
And if you want to, all right, go. Take away from you. Like you said, cut your C-hip off. All right? Deduct some of your universal base income. This is a whole society. He got planned. He think about it upon his bed, and when the day comes, he go out and practice it. Been working on this for years, man. But the Lord is going to allow him to get so far, but he won't be able to cross that line. He ain't gonna have it all 100% complete. But when he's about to fill his belly, the Lord's gonna bring that judgment on him.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Why feed into the system if the Lord is going to destroy it anyway? It's destined to fail. Just like it's destined to come about, it's the Lord's will that Esau would bring it to a certain level. It's destined to fail. We can grab that in Job chapter 20, and we'll start at verse 23.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
So it says when he is about to fill his belly. So let's look at it like Esau then went to the store. He got all the different ingredients and everything that he needs to make the dish that he wants to make. He then brought it home. He prepared everything. He cooked it all. He got everything how he wanted. He made his plate, and now he's sitting down to eat it. That's basically Esau as he has administered his MOTB to most of the world. He's got his system set up, all his surveillance how he wanted. He got everything in his hand, and he's about to sit back and like, man, I did it. But at that time, what does it say? It said that the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him. And why is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai so angry about this? Because Esau is trying to rival the Most High. He wants to be God. As the brother said, Esau want every single grape. At first, it was just resources and valuables and money, and he wanted all of it. He needed all of it. But now that he has all of that, now he wants all the people. Now he wants to have existence belonging to him. And that's just beyond wicked. But that's why the Lord is going to bring such a violent destruction to this place. That's why America needs to fall. That's why Esau is going to come down. Because of this wicked society and empire that Esau has set up. So the Lord is going to wipe it away. And right now, as the Lord is allowing Esau to bring his enterprise about, he's letting Esau rack up his rap sheet of wickedness. So that when Esau when his violent overthrow comes, it's going to be deserved. It's going to be, beyond deserved.
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
The Lord letting this simmer. Esau got so far in his wickedness, he accomplished a certain level, and you would think he'd chill there. You would think that's enough for him. But he's like, man, I still got everything in his power. I can still do more. I'm going to do more. And he does more. He gets more in his control. And it's just never enough. And the Lord is letting it play out. The Lord is letting it simmer.
Yeah, like you said, he got all his ingredients. He sat back. You know that last bite, you like, I don't really need it, but it's just one bite. And this is where we at, to the point where look how they constantly talk about advancements. I forget what video that was. They was talking about how they civilized the natives, and we brought them this, and if it wasn't for us, then it's like y'all slaughtered them. You're just gonna leave that part out and think that, well, it's going on right now over in the Middle East. There's a slaughtering going on for whatever purpose they wanted to have. I forget that. I don't know if it's the canal, but pretty much to have a route being brought through there, man. So they just do it and justified of what they want to get done. But it's going to be better for the world. They don't care how much blood is shed in between their plan and their goal, man. Their end goal. Whatever happens in between, it don't matter to them. They just want to get there. So the Lord has allowed, it said, he's says in Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, he's blinded by his wickedness. The fact that he has been able to come this far. He's going to keep going. It looks like he's going to make it. it looked like it's going to actually happen. It looked like it's in his hands. You know, to the point where, like the Isaiah 47, the Lord's lifting their skirt. So a lot of people are on to what they're doing. A lot of people catching their mischief, I would say. You know, it ain't as easy as it used to be, because the internet, there's cameras everywhere and everybody's recording and they're slowing shit down. Videos happening. I showed the video about the 9/11. How can a plane be in front of the building but the wing go behind it? So all of these things are being caught, and it's like, oh, all right, I see. Yeah, for a while you can play on the minds of people, man. But we in the time of revealing. Okay, we in the end, and it's manifesting. All right. It's a little bit more to this. It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him.
Right, because the roles are gonna be reversed. There's gonna come a time in 2nd Ezra 6:9. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So those who, the elect, the nation of Israel, we will come out of this victorious. Even though Esau is going to have done all this, he's going to have fulfilled his enterprise, it's going to be brought to nothing. It's going to be brought to ashes. Esau going to have been amassed all these riches, and the Lord going to snatch it from him. The thing is, Esau's trying to upset prophecy because he knows the prophecies. He knows what the scriptures say, and he's trying to upset it. And you would think he'd try to upset prophecy by seeing that it's going to be destroyed and that the Lord is against it, and he's going to be like, well, let me chill. I shouldn't do all that. You would think that would be how he tried to upset prophecy. No, he's just going even more balls to the wall about it. Like, he can't help himself. The Lord got him. It's just like when the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. The Lord has a spirit in Esau to where he's just bestial. Like, he just can't help himself. He just gotta take it. Yeah.
Yep, this is Sirach 14, Sirach 14 and verse 8. The envious man hath a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion.
And what is coveting? Coveting is seeing something and you don't even need it, but you want it. You see somebody got something, you like, man, and you start hating. You like, man, I want that too. That's Esau. Esau's the most covetous man ever. Esau don't need everything that he got, but he want to feel that power,
And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. A wicked eye envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at his table.
Exactly. It says that, what does it say? It's about emptying his soul.
It says, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul.
Esau's wickedness and his greedy way, and him not being able to stop himself, that is going to walk him straight into his destruction. Because as we was reading in Job chapter 20 and verse 22, it says that, can we go to verse 22 in that Job?
Yeah. This is Job 20 and 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits.
What's a strait? A strait is a position of difficulty. And so the fullness of his sufficiency, when he reaches his goal, that's when, evils is going to come upon him. That's when, well, let's read it. Let's read it. Select it.
It says, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him.
Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. The wicked there is the Hebrew word aimal, which means sufferers, laborers, toilers, which is speaking about the Israelites in this society. It's speaking about those of us at the bottom. So that's when we are going to rise up. That's when the Lord is going to return. Because the thing is,
everybody that he's stepping on.
Everybody he's stepping on, he's stepping on everybody back, and they just gonna pull themselves out from under him, and he's gonna fall over.
These other nations, they getting the blunt end of it too. You got a bunch of them, his own people as well. They've got a bunch of online crying. This is too hard. I can't do this. This is this. Everything's high, and it's the end of a society. I just want to clear that up.
Come on, the water. And the thing is, as Esau's setting up his end game, he's setting up his new world order and doing all these things. Simultaneously, the prophecies are coming to pass that Russia is being brought into their Soviet Union-like mindset. The Lord is making Russia a guard to these nations that Israel and America is taunting and attacking and coming against, all these different countries that hold this thermonuclear power. They're threatening the U.S. China is saying that they're gonna wipe the U.S. off the map. Russia is posturing. All these different countries are ready, are in opposition to America. Things are getting tense. So simultaneously, as Esau setting up his system, is the same way that simultaneously the Lord is putting the spirit in these kings of the earth to turn their face against Babylon. And as the scriptures say, all ye that bend the bow, shoot against her, spare no arrows, because that is going to be the Lord's judgment for the wickedness of Esau's kingdom. The heart of his kingdom, America, is going to be completely burnt to nothing. You got some.
This is the book of Isaiah 14 and verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming.
Hell from beneath. And that hell ain't hell that we, learn in the Christian church, that is the underworld, burn forever. Hell is speaking about death. Hell is speaking about the grave. So death, the end of Esau is going to come up to meet him.
It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. They have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
So Esau's kingdom is going down to the grave. It's only a matter of time before this place is destroyed. It's only a matter of time before it meets its death, and it's inevitable. You can't stop it. No matter what you do, Esau, no matter what type of way you try to upset prophecy, everything you do, as the scriptures say, we could do nothing for the truth, or nothing against the truth, but for the truth. The Lord is in control of all of this. The Lord is in control of you. So every move that you make, the Most High wants you to do it, and it's going to lead to what? Your utter destruction. So as I was saying, every kingdom upon the earth that bends the bow, they're gonna shoot at America. America and those fake Jews over there in the land of Israel, both places are gonna be wiped off the map. And it's gonna be a great destruction. The scriptures speak about millions of warheads that are going to fall upon this place and purify it off the map. It says that this place is going to be a desert, never inhabited ever again. And it's going to be a monument of wickedness. It's going to be a monument of the stain that Esau left upon this earth.
This is Ezekiel 38, verse 19. For in my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel.
Surely there should be a great shaking. What's that shaking going to come from? It's from that destruction. Not only in the land of Israel, the scriptures say that the earth will reel to and fro like a drunkard. The scriptures prophesy that the oceans are going to be upset. That things are going to be... What's that going to come from? That destruction that's going to come from the missiles all around the world hitting this place. And so it's soon to come. There's nothing Esau can do to stop it, So yeah, that's basically all I had, brothers.
You want me to finish this Job real quick? This is Job 20 and 23. It says, Job 20 and 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Right, and that's what we were speaking about, where all of them thermonuclear missiles being shot from all the ends of the earth onto this place.
He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
That's what I'm saying. There's nothing he can do to flee from it. Esau is looking on how to get into space. He's exploring the ocean. He's looking for any type of way to escape his judgment, but the Lord isn't going to allow any of it to succeed. There's a bound that the Lord has set on Esau that he can't surpass.
This is Amos chapter 9, verse 1. I saw the Lord standing upon the altar, and he said, smite the lintel of the door, that the posts may shake, and cut them in the head, all of them, and I will slay the last of them with the sword. He that fleeth to them shall not flee away, and he that escapeth to them shall not be delivered.
Esau gonna be every single one of them, and it said that they won't be able to escape no matter what they try. The Lord is not going to allow Esau to duck his judgment. You know, and so that's why I say every hand of the wicked is going to be upon Esau. You know, he's going to get his just due.
And the ones that do escape, the elite, the higher ups, you know, that be in their bunkers or whatever, when the elect come back down, they're gonna be the first to taste them chains, man.
Mm-hmm.
God. Verse 2 says, though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
Mm-hmm. Though they dig into hell, which is what? The ground. You know, the pit of the earth. That's them bunkers. Though they go down into them, though they go up into heaven, try to go to these space stations and hide out from the destruction, they're going to be caught up from up there. They're going to be ripped out of them bunkers. And like the brother said, they're going to be the first to go into captivity. The scriptures say that he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. He that bringeth into captivity shall go into captivity. You know, and Esau's captivity is going to be harsh. You know, it's going to be heavy for what he did against the Lord's people and against the earth in general. Esau has brought all the earth out of course. You know, you think there's going to be no judgment for that? That you've taken the Lord's creation and done what you've done with it? You know, is there more to that? Yeah.
Isaiah 2:19, it says, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Esau is I can't remember. I don't know if it was Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg. I believe it was Mark Zuckerberg, when he was showing his multi-million-dollar bunker that he has set up, which is showing this is Mark Zuckerberg we're talking about. The elites have provisions set up. They have bunkers set up because they know the prophecies. They know and have in the back of their mind that their enterprise may fail. They know that the Lord is prophesied to come back. So therefore, they have these bunkers set up. They know that World War III is on the rise.
They have underground cities already. They got tunnels. If it's already been posted, you can go on YouTube and find it. Truckers going into these underground cities where they got energy down there, okay? Because they act like, you know, you need certain ways to get electricity, but they got these, you know, this technology down there that has everlasting electricity, man. You know?
Done. You know, so,
back in Amos chapter 9 and verse 3, and though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
God. And hey, as the scriptures prophesy, once that destruction comes, simultaneously as this kingdom is being destroyed, the elect are going to receive their salvation. You read about it in 1 Corinthians 15, how we're going to be, you know, the hopeful elect, you know, we're going to be changed as the twinkling of an eye. We're going to receive those new bodies. We're going to receive spiritual power. So once we receive that spiritual power, we're going to know where Esau at. We're going to be able to go wherever he's at, snatch him up from wherever he's at. The scriptures prophesy about New Jerusalem coming down from heaven. That's speaking about the elect. And those new bodies coming down physically, the men. You know, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So when Jerusalem is coming down from heaven, that's us coming down, you know, from our chariots to grab up Esau. And what is Esau and the heathen going to be doing in their captivity? The scriptures prophesying, I believe it's Ezekiel chapter 39. They're going to be rebuilding the different destruction that happened upon this earth, except for here in America, because as it prophesies, America will never be inhabited again. You know, but all the different destruction, our land, they're going to be building up our walls, you know, because this earth is going to be in shambles after this, after World War III, after destruction that's coming. You know, so when we get Esau out of his different bunkers, when we get these elites of the heathen and bring them into under our rule, they're going to be immediately put into they slavery. We can get that in Ezekiel, I believe it's 39 and 16, when it talks about the continual occupation. Or 14, so like
It's Ezekiel chapter 39, verse 14. It says, and they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search.
There's going to be a lot of work to do, within rebuilding this earth, because not only will our kingdom, the walls of our kingdom be built up, the different places that's been destroyed upon this earth be built up, but there's going to be a lot of dead bodies. The scriptures prophesying that continual employment is going to be them cleaning up that dead. Are we going to do it? No. We're going to be in our rulership at that point. That's what we're going to have the servants for. That's what we're going to have Esau and the heathen that's going to be under our rule for. So they're going to be cleansing this earth. And can we grab Psalms 149?
Psalms chapter 149 and verse 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory.
Who are the saints? The saints are speaking about the Israelites.
And I just want to say this because, like, we don't know, but you got a general idea because, what I'm saying, the scriptures are point and give us certain context clues. But it's gonna, that blue collar work, garbage men and shit like that. Because ain't gonna be no like waste management, no necessary need for that. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake ain't gonna be eating off no styrofoam plates and shit. Ain't gonna be eating food that doesn't break down. Jake gonna live off the land properly. But those that Esau's gonna be the blue collar work, but it's gonna be horrible work. Okay, breaking rocks, cleaning up dead bodies. And then the heathen gonna be the taskmasters, man. That's gonna be your supervisors and shit like that. And Israelites is gonna be the owners. Walking around, making sure everything good, not touching nothing. Just looking around like, hey man, make sure he clean up all this over here. And he look at Esau and start beating the hell out of him. Go get it. Go get it. It's like let's get that in Revelation, the 18th chapter. It says reward her double, man. Lord gonna flip the script on his ass, and it's gonna be twice as worse. Everything that he tried to do and try to paint himself like an angel of light, trying to make legislation, hide and take our women. We just gonna take their women, man. All right, it's gonna be a thing, like how that movie King Arthur, the new one. When they walked into town, because they had that where when you're a vassal state, you have to have a league with their rulers, which is like Rome or England at the time. And they'll come and take the kids and put them in their army. We ain't gonna come and put nobody in our army and shit like that, but we're gonna roll in your city, or roll in that city with Esau working, might see a woman and then just take her, roll in bunches. We ain't gotta take them, they're gonna be presenting them, and y'all can get mad and say what you want, but this is a king's activity, okay? Jake gonna have Israelite women in certain positions in life. The Israelite woman's gonna sit back in the seat that she is. There ain't gonna be no queen. Okay, they're gonna be sitting underneath Israelite men. Okay, having their babies, being under subjection. All right, and there ain't gonna be nothing special that needs to happen for women to get like, oh, I need a man that'll be like this, then I'll act like that. Nah, man, the women just gonna be in their right mind. Okay? Israelites gonna be in power, but that ain't gonna be the reason. It's just women gonna be in the right spirit to know how to serve their men. There ain't gonna be no talking back, no doubting. Alright? But getting back to our saying, like we're gonna get whatever we want. you know, in righteousness. We ain't gonna be sitting here, you know, denying people, seeing that Elam got some beautiful land, and then write a decree and push them out and say, well, we want this for Israel. You know, it's like, nah, man. The land we choose is gonna be the best land. You know what I'm saying? The places we go, we're gonna go where we want, man. People ain't gonna bother us. We ain't gotta look over our shoulder to make sure ain't nobody gonna try to rob us or anything like that. You know? I was meditating on when it says they should have underwater cities and all that. You know how we in the chariot just go straight down into it, and the chariot merge with that city and just go into the city, and then we just open the door and we walk out. You know, draped in beautiful garments. You know, they trying to shoot Jake this. You know, walking through, guns melt. You know, take him, take him, take him, take him. You know, all y'all, come on, man, y'all free to go. Take them and bring them up to Lebanon. Go bring them up to over here. You know, go bring them up to you know what we used to call Africa. You know, and put them back in their land, man. You know, because the heathen gonna go back into their own land, man. You know, and they're gonna be the ones like after all, because this is the thing. When we talking about the Third World War, when we talking about the dead bodies, there's gonna be dead bodies everywhere, man. Because the Valley of Jehoshaphat, all right, as well that war is gonna be happening. It's gonna be regular dead bodies. It's gonna be all kind of people laid out, you know, nuclear bombs. We got to clean that up. Cities broken down. Everything's gonna be restored, man. Okay. Only thing that's not gonna be restored is this land here. Okay, which with Revelation 18, I tell you, man.
This is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 5. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities.
Yeah, because people try to overpass that, like we just saying, you know, nah, it's our turn and we're about to be mean and take it over. No, your sins have reached up to heaven. Okay? Innocent blood have cried unto the Lord from what Esau has done, man. Esau's done all kind of wickedness. Not only is he killing people normally, but he's sneakily doing it through CIA and propaganda, going into different countries. You know what I'm saying? And just shooting them down, going to war with them. Okay? Starting wars, starting proxy wars, coups. You know, poisoning people through foods. You know, destroying people in all kind of ways from all four sides. All right? Whether people know it or not, they're getting destroyed by Esau, man. Got people in debt, right? Indirect slavery and labor. And then if you disagree or go against their indirect slavery, that leads you to break the law and end up in direct slavery, okay? Which is the prison system. It's owned by private entities, okay?
It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works.
Yeah, everything that she's going to be rewarded is going to be rewarded as long as that is according to the law. We ain't going to be buck breaking nothing, okay? We ain't going to be dressing boys in silver and gold and having them gyrate and dance. We ain't doing all that sodomite activity. But what we will be doing is beating the hell out of your ass, man. All that or you're a racist, oh you're a bigot, and what side of you, extreme right or extreme left, and all that shit. Ain't nobody gonna try to hit that shit, gonna punch you dead in your mouth as soon as you try to. Cause Esau say some shit, you know it's some bullshit, but he'll word it in a certain way that it's like, now you gotta play this game. Jake is gonna punch you in the fucking mouth. Shut up, man. Shut the hell up. So who's the real? Shut up, man. Start just beating the hell out of him, man. If I want to hear that shit, I don't want to explain and get into a theoretical argument about what the hell you're doing and what am I doing and is it justified? Because if we can go back to your lying ass records and what you no man, I'm about to beat the hell out of you. Shut up, man. That's what you're gonna learn how to fucking do is listen. You know? And I'm gonna beat the hell out of you anyway. I'm gonna think you're trying to do something sneaky when you listen. You know? Yeah, man, shit. Ain't no, you're gonna be treated like the devil you are. And the whole world is gonna rejoice because they're gonna realize, like, damn, bro, why nobody's fighting? You know? There's food in abundance. There's no slick talk. There's no CNN. There's, you know, damn. It's like eating healthy, man. You don't know how eating healthy feels until you clean your body out. And you be like, damn, man. I didn't know this is what peace was like. Because you've been trying to fight for it through Esau's system, and it feels like you're there, but you just never truly get there. You know? But then when we rule, you know, all Israelites going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Every single Israelite is just at the 144,000 and the innumerable multitude would be inherit the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven. Okay? And 144,000 are the prophets of Israel coming out on the highways, signing the crime for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. Okay?
So Proverbs 11 verse 10. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting.
Yep. So that's what it's going to, you know, when the righteous rule, the city shall be inhabited. Okay? You know, it's going to be flourishing. People going to be happy and shit. You know?
This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 13. It says, nevertheless, we according to his promise look for a new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Yeah, and it's not talking about a whole, like we're trying to go to Mars. We're not trying to go out of space no, just like a new moon. We're looking for a new government, a new rulership, a new type of inhabitants. We ain't gonna turn grass red, the ocean orange and shit like that. No, we're just talking about it's gonna be new management. Okay?
Got a precept?
Go on.
This is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable.
Yep, and that's the elect. That's the nation of Israel, really. The elect gonna start off, you know, and guess what? King David's gonna sit on the throne. All right, ain't gonna be no arguments about reincarnation. Hell, ain't gonna be nothing necessary for reincarnation because Jake gonna live forever, man. All right. All these scientific theories and elements and what to eat and what not to eat and what time you should eat. We're going to know exactly what you should be putting in your body and what you shouldn't be putting in your body. We're going to understand and have the discipline not to do it. Okay? We're going to make the nations do it. All right? Because the law is going to be written in our inward parts. They ain't say nothing about the nations. All right? So we're going to teach them our ways.
That kind of remind me of Book of Eli. He was like, yeah, we're going to make it out. You know, the voice told me in my head, we're going to make it out. And the other couple was like, what did he say about us? He ain't say nothing about y'all. Y'all ain't going to make it out. You know?
Yeah.
So Isaiah chapter 60 verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
God.
And I just want the land back, just like the brother was saying. There's going to be an authority set up, a righteous authority. The heathen nations, they're not going to be directly given the law, statutes, and commandments, but if you disobey, that's what's going to happen.
Well, I really wanted the one when it says the nation shall come and say, teach us about their ways. But I already said we're going to destroy them. But let's get on the beautiful part of the kingdom. You know?
This is Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Well, you know, it's going to go back and forth, but just off the context what I was speaking on.
So Isaiah chapter 2 verse 1, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
Yeah, that means it's gonna be above every other nation, man. Ain't nobody gonna do this old Christianity nonsense of everybody coming together and figuring it out and living in peace and harmony. You go to a grocery store and everybody got a grocery store, everybody got a business, everybody got their own. No, nigga. Alright? The Israelites are gonna sit on top. Alright? The Israelites are gonna, because somebody has to be the foundation of everything. Somebody has to sit atop to be the standard of everything. All right, and that's going to be the ways of the Mosaic laws, okay? Because we're going back to the laws. All right, it's just the fact that we're not able to keep them, so it's a fight within ourselves and it's a fight within society. All right, but we're going to be able to keep the laws perfectly in the kingdom of heaven, and we're going to make sure the whole inhabited world keeps it perfectly. Okay, you'll be sitting here and somebody well, people ain't gonna be taking no loans out because everything is gonna be in abundance. All right, but hypothetically, you got a person that's a servant or something in the nation of Elon, and the year of Jubilee come, we gonna go through and tell them, give me the records, man, and it ain't even gonna do, just gonna burn it, just gonna throw it in the trash. You know what I'm saying? Give me your financial records, throw it in the trash. Give me your records. Like, you ain't gonna be able to, everybody get their fresh start, man. You know? That's like somebody coming to the IRS and just deleting all the files every 7 years. Every 7 years, just restarting everything. That's a real restart.
Yeah.
You know?
Damn, bro.
Giving people a fucking chance at life and shit, man. Esau wants you to constantly depressed and oppressed.
Yeah.
It says,
Salaki, because was that you said, oh boy, want to tax the robots?
Yeah, no, it was this.
Yeah.
Tax the robots.
Like, you create the robots to replace the humans, then you don't have to pay them, give them insurance or nothing, but you want to tax them. Like, what is?
Because you can pay it off, you can pay a robot off, and that nigga it's like the machines. That's like, we worked at a factory. It's like, okay, the machine outplay the humans, so I can't tax the humans no more. So how you gonna get government subsidies? You know what I'm saying? How you gonna get the extra money? So you gotta tax the machines now.
Oh, bro.
It's fucking greed, man. There's so much greed that you eliminate the humans, and then you forgot on the back end, like, damn, well, shit, who we gonna tax?
Like what, bro?
You know? Well, we gotta come up with a scheme to tax machines now. AI, come up with AIs, just like they did with fucking eugenics. They'll come up with a scientific theory to say AI is taxable because it's using human ideology or some dumbass shit like that to make it sound good. Punch people like that in the mouth, man. You know?
So back in Isaiah 2:2, it says, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths.
Yeah, and that's talking about the law, statutes, and commandments, man. They're gonna learn, and they ain't gonna sit there and say, man, set up a democratic republic or whatever, do what you want. No, ain't gonna be all none of that. None of that, man. We gonna be ones holding court. You ain't gonna need no lawyer. Okay? This is gonna be your story and us judging. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no wars. Ain't gonna be no people dying, people getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Getting abused, and there's no justice. All right, it's gonna be perfect goodness. That's a whole big different stress, man. You know what I'm saying? When you see a chariot behind you, man, you on your horse, you ride, you see a chariot over your head. You're like, oh, all right, man, shit. You know, how Esau feels when the police get behind him. That's how the whole world gonna feel when the chariot get over him, unless you're doing some wickedness, man. I always say, man, you out here got an idol and you see a chariot over the city. All you gonna see is the idol fly over the wall and then a nigga get thrown out. There ain't gonna be no walls inside. That nigga just get thrown out with the idol. It was like it was him, man. It's the whole world gonna adhere to the laws and statutes, commandments of the Most High, man. Nobody gonna be eating no damn octopus and pork and all this wickedness and talking back about trying to justify where you do this. It ain't gonna be none of that, man. It's gonna be perfect goodness. All right. Second Ezra, let's get that in the city of rest already built. Okay, the city is already built and rest is allowed.
This is Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 52. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed.
Yeah, that's where we're headed to, man. It's already ready. It's just waiting on the prophecies to finish up, man. That time is already set. The concept, the style of buildings, like we don't understand that, man. Like there's a time that's already set. Like, you know, the way the buildings are set, the energy of the people, all that's already laid out, man. And we're just walking to it. But we got to still walk to it. You can't just jump to that city.
John 14:3. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also.
Yeah. And that place is the kingdom of heaven, man, which is going to be on earth. All right.
It's like when you know, these businesses, they be coming and they got a model of what, you know, where they're going to put this new mall or whatever, and they got everything already shown out. They got I can't think of the word for it right now. Yeah, replica of it, you know, small replica. That's the city, shit, from the beginning. It was already, yep, this gonna be here, this gonna be like this, streets paved with gold, walls of different stones, so on and so forth. That's why it's written. You know, it's written.
And let's go to St. John 14:2, man. I just read that.
Oh, you read that? Yeah, well, I read 3. Want me to go up?
Yeah.
Read that too? Okay, God. It says, St. John 14:2, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you, I go to prepare a place for you.
See, so that's that the Lord has, which in the kingdom, not only this planet, but other places that's uninhabitable out of other planets. Okay, and people will scoff at that because Esau's not able to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So you're scoffing at the idea and acting like we're talking about something that's figurative until your master does it. Then it's like, okay, I see what you're saying. You know, them type of niggas, that type of thinking it ain't gonna be accepted, man. We're gonna be free to come up with concepts without somebody doubting us and shit. Okay. Yeah, man. I wanna have this whole floor be made of this. Okay. Layered with that. I want my buildings like that. Not somebody saying that's against company code. That's not going to be able to hold. That's not going to be able to. Man, get the fuck out of my face. Go. You can't do it. Get him out of here, man. Let's go find somebody that you know, that's subservient to figure this shit out. You don't like the Lord said, let that be light. And the angel's like, well, that technically is the darkness can't. With darkness, you can't get light out of it. No, man. They went and figured it out, man. And brought it back, and it was good. Okay? And that's going to be similar to the rulership here, man. All right? Just like they had the king of Tyre helping King Solomon. You know, what's his name?
Hiram?
I'm thinking of Haman, but it's, Hiram.
King Hiram.
You know? And he was a wordsmith with wood and shit, man. And he knew how to figure it out, man. All right? Now, it wouldn't even be necessary. We're going to know how to do it. But shit, I have, you know, I'm going to build me a house by the ocean. So I go get Japheth, man. You know, get the best workman of Japheth, not steal him, and then make him build our shit, and then talk shit down on y'all every time. No, it's like, man, go build one of them. Walk through the city, see something beautiful, like, damn. Hey, man, I want something like that, but put this and that on it. I'm talking about hypothetical, man. We don't know how the kingdom of heaven is, but we just try to imagine, man. You know, and ain't nothing wrong with that. What? Oh, you trying to look, bro? What's wrong with looking forward to the kingdom and thinking and meditating on the kingdom, man? Okay, you niggas stuck on stupid, man. We gotta prophesy, we gotta deal with here, but you gotta have a direction to where you're going, man. All right.
Got a precept. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have it entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love Him.
Yep, and that's like we don't understand everything yet, but we can imagine it. We're not imagining wickedness, okay? We're not imagining selfish behavior. We may not be accurate. Who are you to say you don't know? I'm just imagining, man. But what I know is perfect goodness and rest is allowed. Okay, did we get to that? That second Ezra?
Yes, yeah, you want me to read it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 52, it says, For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready.
Yeah, plenteousness. The abundance of resources, man. You ain't going to the damn pump and shit. Ain't gonna be no pumps. You know? Nobody gonna be in no fucking vehicles. You know? You ain't gonna need no new shoes. You know what I'm saying? You gonna take your animal skin and it's the simple things in life, man. Jake think Nikes, like, we gonna go from Nikes to sandals. How's that upgrade? It's like, goddamn, bro, like you've been Americanized to where you need air bubbles on the bottom of your shoe to alleviate your back. You should be able to walk outside with no shoes on the ground, man.
Even fucking concrete gonna be laid out.
Yeah, connect with the earth. Walk in the grass without sharp objects piercing underneath your feet. You know? Like there's elements that horses. You know? Getting on horseback, you ride on horseback everywhere you go. You know, Jake, a heathen get drunk, ass out, horse bring him home. You know? Because, hey, Jake gonna still get laid out, man. But there ain't gonna be no drunkards in public and shit. But you get what I'm saying? You're gonna be on your land. Probably somewhere up in your little spot. Jake got spots, man.
Hey,
men have spots. Why men have man caves and shit. You have land, but you'll have that like your area where you could just sit and drink. You gonna have an area where you deal with your woman at. You know? You gonna, hey man, you gonna have your house and your woman gonna have their spots. And if I feel like it, I'm gonna go over here, man, and deal with her, man. You know?
Yeah, that's when you read in the scriptures and it talks about going on the housetop. That's where men would go and pray and kind of meditate and all of that. That was their little getaway. That was their man cave.
Yep, that was their man cave. And that's what it's supposed to be in the open, man.
Yeah.
Not. It then flipped to Jake had to go hide in a hole.
Nah, bro.
You know, our man spot was like Jake. You know how the old school Jake opened the garage and they sit out, they beers and shit and just chill and talk shit. You know, sit under how Jake be sitting under the tree. You know,
Elevated ground, not in the ground.
Yeah, Jake got a forest, man. The forest with a sweet spot in that joint. Like the brother showed me a forest area with the sky, which is clear, and you can just see the trees. They just moving and just quiet. You know, and you got you a chair. Nobody fucking with it. No bird shit on it when you come up. You know what I'm saying? You just up in there chilling, man, enjoying nature and shit, sitting by the water. sitting in the waters, a path, people walking, you can just, you know, like peace, man. And we're gonna have perfect access, but heathens gonna have access to things like that too, man. You know, it's gonna be so everything is gonna be in abundance. You ain't gotta look at them and like, damn, man, we're about to get that, man. I'm about to steal that. I'm about to hurt them to get that from them. You know.
Precept. It's Isaiah 40:21. It says, "Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundation of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof."
Yeah, because the earth is a globe, but it's not a flat disc. Ain't no fucking flat earth. You sit upon the circle of the earth. It's a sphere. Okay?
And the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in.
Yep.
Like you said, we're gonna be different planets. You know what I'm saying? Just because Esau can't search out the heavens doesn't mean the Lord is gonna limit that to us. That's why Esau can't do it, because the Lord is leaving that for us to do it.
Yep. He don't deserve access to stuff like that. Look at he is fucking up this earth trying to lead to another one. Nah, we're gonna fix this one and say, let's go over here and fix Mars, man. Let's make Mars inhabitable. You know, let's make this planet inhabitable. You know, make things better. Not fuck it up and then run somewhere else and be so wicked over here. Because Esau's a vagabond, man.
Yeah.
That's his nature. He goes over here, mess something up. You know, them so-called JEOOs kicked out hundreds of countries, man. Hundreds. All right? Now, some of them is counted for our history, which is not the same. But we're talking about them being, you know, they were kicked out of Russia. They were kicked out of the Middle East. That's where you get like the Ashkenaz. You know what I'm saying? That's the Russian. They got kicked out of Russia. Then they went into Germany, defiled Germany. You know, it did. You know, they started having like it's coming out like how they was burning books in Germany and like it was Bible. No, it's the transgender books that they was putting out. You know, and wicked ass books that they was teaching people with. The people was kicking out them JEOOs, but they got a foothold on society, okay, through the banking system. All right, and now they're able to. They don't have to jump from country to country. They own everything now. Okay.
There's some more to the second Ezra. Back in second Ezra chapter 8, the middle of 52, it says, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom.
Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom, man. Understanding on how things work and tick, not resting judgment, man. You know, that's so frustrating to something that happened to you and it's true, and you're trying to explain it, and somebody don't want to hear you because of how you look, or because you can't talk well, or you don't got no money. You know, the ability to like know what to eat in the morning. Jake really don't even know what to eat in the morning, man, without hurting themselves. You know, knowing a good meal, how to combine certain ingredients to make things taste proper. Okay.
It says, the root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness and the moth is hid from you.
Yeah. It says, go back again. Say that again.
The root of evil is sealed up from you.
Which is evil goes back to hard times or bad times, man. The root of evil is sealed up. It ain't nobody gonna be going through it in depth, confused, mad as hell. Woman got you stressed out and shit. You know, got a flat tire. You know, everything is gonna be a beautiful situation. You know, winter come, you don't gotta look and say, damn, I gotta go to work today. You know, sit your ass down. You ain't supposed to be moving in that shit, man. You know? And you ain't gotta worry about no food because the storehouse says plenteousness is made ready. You know? Like winter's gonna be what you're supposed to do in the winter. Summer's gonna be what you're supposed to do, what you do in the summer. You come out, ain't gonna be no booty shorts. You wanted to try to tell your daughter not to put on leggings and shit. You gotta argue with them and shit. You know, your kids gonna respect you. The mothers are gonna honor the man. It's gonna be perfect goodness, man. Because people don't realize this shit creates evil. The independent woman concept creates evil. Okay? Independent woman concept creates evil. The bad girl, the Crips and gang bang, you know, niggas trying to walk around pants sagging and shit, long hair, you know, got bonnets on and shit. You know, you're gonna eat right, take care of your skin. You know?
Don't be having to put chemicals on your face that you gotta continuously use. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just clean your body out.
Yeah, well, you're gonna eat right, and you can have a avocado bath. You know, just have some woman wipe you down avocado and honey. You know, you just go to sleep, wake up. You know, like go borrow one and peel it off you and shit. You know, they put clothes on. She ain't trying to tell you, oh, this is cute. Go get my she already know. Her mind gonna be like your mind.
Yeah.
Not trying to dress you up. She gonna know what you wanna do and she's gonna dress you how you wanna be dressed. I wanna put on something warrior like today. Oh, I know, I go get your whoop and you be like, yeah, you know what I want. You know what I'm saying? She gonna make your clothes, man. You know, how you want it. You know? You wanna be formal and shit, have you draped out and she ain't gonna try to, oh, that's my man, look at it. She gonna wanna make you look good, man. So that's gonna be a representation of her. There ain't gonna be no, you know what I'm saying? All this like peace, bro. Like people don't understand what peace is. You know? Playing with your kids, you can let your kid play with another kid. I take my kid to the park, I gotta make sure that kid ain't no dumbass and shit. I gotta watch him, and then I gotta look at the parent and watch him, and then like, do you let kids play? You know? Hey, you take your kid and just say, hey, go outside, go do something. You know what I'm saying? Go with your woman, you gotta work, wait, kids go to sleep and shit. You know? Gonna have nannies. Don't even need nannies, man. Kids ain't gonna be busting their head and shit, falling off beds. You know?
Yeah, because in this society, you got nanny cams. You got a damn stuffed animal with a camera because you can't trust the person you're leaving your kids with, man.
Yeah. You know?
It says, the root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness and the mark is hid from you, and corruption has fled into hell to be forgotten.
Yeah, destruction, things that decay, like you can have a good day and they'll go away. You can have a good vehicle and they'll break down. You can have a good anything and it could be taken away. You know what I'm saying? That corruption and that moth, you know, represents like decay and destruction. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be going away, man. Okay? That's a beautiful thing to have goodness to last forever, man. A forever good day. Like Ice Cube said, today was a good day. Every day gonna be a good day, man. You know? Even if something ain't nothing bad gonna happen to us. So if a heathen is having a fucking bad situation, it ain't gonna be a bad day for us. Fuck, I gotta go over there. It's like, all right, let me go judge this. You're gonna be excited to judge, man. Straighten them out and shit. You know? Hey, man, look, y'all can't be doing this and whoop and this, that. If they got this going on, let them have that. All right, so let it be. And then we walk off and it's gonna be like that. Or something's gonna happen. But the presence of authority will make them submit, man. Okay? We gotta argue with nobody. Stop doing that. Oh, my bad. Nigga, we're gonna stop. Somebody that can read your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that. And then looking here and saying, oh, you don't want to stop? You know what I'm saying? I ain't say nothing. Boy, it's gonna collapse. You know what I'm saying? Go bury him. Go bury him. You know? That's power, man. You know? Ain't nobody gonna be sitting here walking. What you looking at? Ah, take somebody out for nothing. Don't stand next to me. Ah. That's Esau, man.
Holier than thou.
What are you doing in this neighborhood? Ah. Rest your ass, man. You locked up and shit. You can't go fishing at certain ponds and shit. You know?
Like Esau put them little cars in the neighborhoods and shit.
Yeah, them bait cars and shit.
Yeah, ain't gonna be.
No, man. Yeah, you start you stealing, nigga. I don't got no food. Yeah. You left a fucking Bugatti unmanned up in this motherfucker with the engine running. Shit, I'm sure I can get something off the tires or something to go feed my family.
It says, sorrows are past, and in the end, it showed the treasure of immortality.
Yeah. In the end, it's going to show the treasures of immortality, which we're going to literally be immortal. Okay? We're going to live forever. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? Ain't no heathen. You can say what you fucking want. You can get mad. Like what boy did last week, stormed off, low key. Esau can't make it. All right, I'll see you guys later. So you get mad. But at the end of the day, his stupid ass going to be sitting next to us. We're going to be like, bro, told you, bro. Told you, man. Now, is it so bad?
Exactly.
You know? When you look at it, you know it ain't. You know what I'm saying?
You want to be on this side or that side, yo?
Well, he gonna be on our side, gonna be in the right mind.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jake just gonna have to live with that
everlasting shame.
Yeah, the everlasting shame, man. Talking shit, man. We gonna be cool, but it's like, remember, used to be pee popping in the world.
Damn.
It's gonna be like, damn. You know, it's like
Damn.
Jake ain't gonna like hang it over your head and treat you a certain way, but Jake gonna probably call you the PZ. Forever though, forever. Like you can't get you a new name.
Ain't no dying and forgetting it or none of that.
Yeah, like going into a different city and shit. You know, like amongst the prophets, amongst the Israelites, everybody knows who you is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, comrade, call you comrade because you linked up with the heathen and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's all love. But you know how Jake is. Jake will scarf you, but still fuck with you. You know? We joke about it all the time, man. You ain't gonna be able to, ain't like nigga gonna just drag you through the mud, but it's gonna be everlasting shame. You got to live with what you did, man. You know? Like, even if you grew, you're still looking at that person like, damn, I fucked over that person, man. You know?
This is like you can bring out his precept.
Yeah.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 4 says that the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there should be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain.
Yeah, we literally not gonna die. Alright? Ain't gonna be no, you know, crying and shit, and you know, so you lost a loved one, or, you know what I'm saying, something traumatic happened to you. You know?
For the former things are passed away.
Yeah, death, man. Ultimately, because death got a hold, even though the Lord got the victory over death, it hasn't been solidified yet. All right, as far as us being in the kingdom of heaven. Because Christians like to say that they're saved. We're not saved yet, so we haven't stepped in. Yahushua has that place prepared for us. He's dealing with all that, dealing with the prophecies, walking us to that place that is prepared. But we're not there yet. So we still got going through it with hopes of getting to that place where we have to stop going through it. Okay? Let's go back to Revelation 18.
Revelation chapter 18, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works.
Yeah, so back to Esau. So once we get into we fixing everything, imagine we're coming down here with a priority. All right? Let's go to what they call Jacob's ladder. You know? Seeing the Jerusalem coming down from heaven. You know, that's gonna be the Israelites coming out of the chariots, man. The Israelites gonna be delivered up into the chariots. We're gonna come out of the chariots, and we're gonna be changed as we're going into the chariots, man. Okay, Lord's will, we're amongst that number. But when the missiles drop, we're gonna be changed to be going up into the chariots and getting salvation, and we're gonna be changed into our new bodies. Then when we come out in chariots, man, we're gonna come out with that power, man. With the bodies that just gonna have the ability. It's gonna be supernatural. Okay.
This is book of 1 Corinthians 15. Book of 1 Corinthians 15, verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed.
Yeah, not that. Let's say New Jerusalem coming out of heaven is in Revelations.
Revelation 21, verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
That's right. All right. Now, that's not talking about a city that's coming down and floating down. It's a people before it's a place. The Lord called us Zion, called us Jerusalem. Okay? It's going to be New Jerusalem, the same people, man. Ain't going to be no heathen mixed up in there. No, it's going to be straight Israelites in their right mind, in their right bodies coming down. All right? With a purpose to set the world in order. Okay? Ain't going to be no coming down and saying, well, y'all, let's figure this out. Let's work together and stuff. But like, hey, man, so it's going to be a wrap, man.
This is how it is.
This is how it is. And they already going to know, because the same thing that they was fighting,
Yeah.
the same thing we're going to be coming out of.
They were like, look, last time it showed up, people was turning into dust.
Yeah, like, man, shit, fuck it, bro. Yeah. Whatever y'all want. You know? It's gonna all be at the twinkling of an eye, all simultaneously. Boom, boom. Jake go up, come back down. We're gonna be like, oh fuck. They're coming, the people that got up in there coming. And I know who the people that was leaving going up in there. And they're coming out of there, coming down in different, like their bodies are different, the demeanor, their look, you know, that angelic look, man, that make people terrified, man. That stern, it don't gotta be no mean, no scowl. It's just like this person's serious,
You
man.
just don't feel it, bro. Like off of like on Dragon Ball Z, this energy crazy, you know?
Yeah. You know, they gonna know what time it is, man. They coming down, getting the world in order.
And
Okay.
that's like, I don't say, and that's the thing. It's like we ain't like we better be the no. It's just like the Lord is like, these are the people who need to rule in order for the earth to be at a homeostasis. In order for things to be fair and balanced and righteous and clean, these and pure, these are the people. These are the only people that can do it.
Yep, led by Yahweh and King David, man.
Based off of the ways I gave you.
King David gonna sit on the throne, whether people like it or not, man.
Yep.
All right.
Can I get a quick precept? So Wisdom of Solomon 6, verse 24. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people.
Yeah. And the world gonna be upheld properly, but when Jake come down, there's there's gonna be order. Like I said, Yahweh Shah is gonna lead the charge. You know, King David gonna come out sitting, being on his right hand, a man after his own, at the Most High's own heart. So he gonna know what time it is. Then go to the 12 apostles, the 12 disciples. The elect. All right, the 144,000, and then the rest of the nation of Israel gonna come on down and straighten this world out, man. All right. Jake is coming down, ripping up concrete. Nobody be walking on no damn concrete all day. Ain't no more work days like that. You ain't about to be toiling, laboring. You work your own land. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be all this unfair and unrighteous dealing, wrestling judgments, destroying court systems, IRS buildings. let's get that. It says that the tongue and the eye shall be consumed away in the holes. You know, the things that Esau say and speak and think of and envision is going to be done away with, man.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12.
Everybody riding by and listening to stupid ass music. Out of shape, fat black women. You know, big Shirley.
Zechariah 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
So it's a hybrid. So not only are you going to be destroyed physically, but it's also going to be an allegory for how your eyes, the things you envision, and the tongue, the things you speak, your pseudoscience, all that's going to go with you, with Esau, man, with the destruction of America ultimately. Okay? Once America's destroyed, Jake going, hey man, ain't gonna be like 100 years and shit like that. It's a twinkle in the eye, we're gonna be changed. You know? We don't know, and like again, we just know what the prophecy said, that this place is gonna be destroyed. Jacob's gonna come down, renew the earth. All the heathen gonna be subject unto us, and while we're subjugating them, we're gonna find Esau in the holes of the rocks and their space stations, and we don't know, like, 2 months. We're gonna go and leave for 2 months. How long is it gonna be changed? We know it's gonna be quick. Instead of twinkling of an eye. So once we're changed and we come, you know, and everything, man, Jake gonna be sitting there, everything in order, man. Okay? They already gonna be afraid, and yet there's fight. They already did that. So once we come down, hey, we really ain't gonna really need to use spiritual power. We're just gonna have it. Like, what are you gonna do? Because to Yahweh shall be the glory. He's gonna be the one that ultimately take them down, but he's gonna turn us to hunters as well. You know, so you can say he's gonna give us certain abilities even before. You know, because one shall chase 1,000. You know, but when we get them new bodies, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a wrap, man. You know, setting a flight. You know. Just setting your hand out and waving, everybody fall down, just like when they try to arrest you outside, man. Who do you think I am? They all just fell back. You know? That type of power. Jake gonna want to enjoy themselves. I'm gonna want to squabble for no fucking reason. I want to squabble, put my hands on something, man.
Like Black Panther. Here, take my power. Let me bang with this nigga regular.
Yeah. You know, put the, you know what I'm saying? Like, your garments on. You know what I'm saying? Fight ready garments and shit. You know? Take your garment, wrap it around his neck, choke his ass out, pass out, drag him. You know?
Man, my garment like Dr. Strange. It could just do its own thing.
Yeah,
Go
man.
through the city. I'm like...
we all gonna have to squabble. Put that gun down. That gun down. Might be like a man. Hell, by force. Jake do Magneto, just crumble that shit. Come on, let's squabble. I know you can't do it. Squabble.
You got a precept for you?
Yeah, help us out.
Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms.
Yep. So not only will the chariots be doing the work, but the Lord's also going to give us the ability to get busy too, man. All right? Ain't going to be no legislation on what we speaking and somebody trying to call us domestic terrorists and all that, man. All that shit's going to go and hit the fan, man. All right? Now, we ain't going to say and do things to bring smut on a prophecy, because it's not the time for that. The Lord said, wait ye upon me till I make thy enemy thy footstool. Okay? So we're not going to go out here and carry no weapons. All right? We're not going to go out here and come up with a strategy to defend ourselves and be offensive or defensive. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You know? Go ahead.
All right, Slocky, I did have a precept backing that up too. It's Ezekiel 25:14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, said the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, that's right, man. You know? So it's an irony for that to happen. Esau's been oppressing us, hurting us, doing shit, and it's gonna turn around, and then the same people he was afflicting is gonna come around and beat his ass, man. Okay, that's the last person you want getting vengeance. Okay.
Go back to Revelation 18. Revelation chapter 18, verse 7. It says, how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
Yeah, because Esau thinks that he's able to do all this, and he got a backup plan. He got laws. It's like they're going around creating these legislations, taking immigrants and doing all this crazy shit, destroying the amendment, and they got like backup plans to like deflect or defend themselves from what they're doing. Okay? They got backup plans. You know how people ain't gonna just hop up and riot. They're already shutting that shit down. You can't get together and cause an insurrection. You know? But the BLM movement destroyed that. You know?
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire.
Yeah, that's the hell that people think it is, that lake of fire. All right? Their primary kingdom or kingdoms, Israel, the land of Israel, because that land's going to be cleansed. It's not going to be utterly destroyed, but it's going to be cleansed with fire. And Babylon's going to be utterly destroyed with fire. All right? Excessively.
This is Revelations 20:14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death.
Yep.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Because the first death was the flood. The second one is going, which was by water, and the second one's going to be by fire. Okay? Because Esau don't want people to wake up to that. Just like they ain't want you to wake up to that's why they had a slave Bible. So if they were manipulating the scriptures then, what makes you think they ain't gonna manipulate them now? They got these scholars to sit around and think tanks to come up with ideas on how to fool the people. Okay?
Back in Revelation chapter 18, verse 8, it says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
Yeah, because they're gonna realize, damn, bro, like our system is fucked up. America figured it all out. There was a network. There was a key. We got all this product. How we gonna get it off? Okay, this whole concept. China's gonna be looking like, damn, I bought all that land over there for nothing. What? Shit. God damn. God damn it.
It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city.
Which is America, man. That's the daughter of Babylon. Okay?
For in 1 hour is thy judgment come, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Yeah, it could be an actual hour, it could be 30 minutes, it could take a couple hours, but what we know is gonna be a short time. Very short time. Our change is gonna be in the blink of an eye, so our change is gonna happen quicker than an hour. If it's at a blink of an eye, that's a millisecond. You know? So in 1 hour, Esau going down, this is gonna happen so fucking fast. Ain't gonna be no 5 years, 7 years. They lost Virginia and they're still fighting for a year, and then they lose Texas, and oh shit, it's really going down. No, it's just gonna doom, 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 doom. Set ablaze, man, melted. You know, thermonuclear heat could it sets the air on fire, man. It could burn your shadow into the ground. Okay. And China said they got a missile 61. They got the only hydrogen bomb. Nigga get a missile over here, man. They gonna let that thing over here, man. Yeah, what you holding for? You know. The Lord created the smith that blew up the coals in the fire, man. All right, and whatever he set forth to do, and what he prophesied to do, is going to come to pass. Like the brother reference, all they that bend the bow are going to shoot, and as a strong archer, it's not going to return. So China ain't going to set that missile up and then hit the button. And then you got fucking James Bond in that bitch. Cut a wire and shit. And that shit don't know, man. That motherfucker gonna take off. They gonna take off before they even get to the button. They gonna see chariots over there, and they gonna be in the fucking trying to crawl through the vent and see that bitch just go. I thought I had 22 minutes. You know, like I don't know what the fuck happened, bro. It's over with. Motherfucker ball fly over here and it's gonna hit this motherfucker, tear it up. And no, you can't. If you are a part of a split Israelite group, you ain't gonna be able to run to fucking Venezuela. You ain't gonna be able to run to Europe or Ireland or whatever and try to escape this, you know, and try to prophesy over there and stay clean because you don't have enough faith to pass through the fire, man. You know, the real prophet's gonna pass through that fire, man. All right. It's, Joel 2:4. It says the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. Yep. And I want to say this because there's brothers that are across the four corners of the earth prophesying, and they will be delivered too. As though if they ain't gonna pass through the fire, they're gonna be delivered. If they were over here, they'll still pass through the same fire, man. You know, like the noise of chariots on the tops of the mountain shall they leap. Like the noise of the flame of fire that devoured the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their face, the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run. And that's a lack of knowledge. You just ain't no, you know. Hey, it should be like, oh shit, you know. Go ahead. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb. What you were saying? No, I said I was getting excited. Oh, missiles. I'm just kind of picturing it. Gone. It says they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb. And the thing is, there's many people having dreams about war and about missiles, man. As the Lord said that would happen, so they pretty much seeing these visions. Yep. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. And they shall march every one of his way, and that's they shall Iron Dome. It's gonna get right past that Iron Dome, all the fences and all that. Gonna get right past all them so-called walls. You know. And they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Yeah, they ain't gonna deviate. Ain't gonna be one sputter off. You know. Yeah. Run out of gas. Like Elon Musk, he ain't have enough gas in this one, and this one wasn't built right. You know, even if one wasn't built right, the ain't just gonna grab it and you know, throw that bit like fog. You know, all them missiles gonna hit their target, man. Millions, 2 million. All right. Neither shall one thrust another. Yeah, ain't one gonna hit another, bump into each other. All this hypothetical, it's gonna be a perfect execution. Yeah. Just in case you was questioning if you had any ifs. Yeah. Well, what if this happened? Well, it's gonna be a perfect execution, man. Yep. Okay.
They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded.
Yep. So, hey, man, the missiles will land, and it's going to destroy this place. This place is wicked. No matter what Esau try to put out, what type of propaganda, what type of angle he try to spew, type of demonization tactics, the Babylon's going to be destroyed, and the nation of Israel will be delivered. You know. And with that being said, we'll give all praises
unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash.
I want to say double honor to our apostles who are elders who rule well. Blessed salutation to you, brothers out there teaching and bearing truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.